Hello and welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do Spirit Guide monthly, live every last Friday of the month. I hope you're able to join me. I also do astrological readings by the sign by the month in love and relationships and in money and career, but I also do this. I do pick a card readings. And today I have for you reading Who Thinks You Are the One That Got Away? Who thinks you are the one that got away? We have 4 piles in a pick a card presentation. You're going to have a moment with the cards to concentrate, see which one really calls out to you. Who from your past thinks that you are the love that got away from them? Take a moment, concentrate, see which one calls out to you, and I will see you at the time of your reading. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 1, then this is your reading. We're going to put the number 1 up there, so anybody joining us in progress or looking for the piles without the timestamps are in the description box down below. We'll be able to figure out where we are. We've got the modern day spellcasters bringing you your predictive cards. We've got some oracle cards for who this person likely is and what is the energy surrounding that. We'll take some other oracle cards as the reading reveals the need for them. And before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. If you hit the post bell notification, you will be informed every time I post a video. As soon as I flip a card, like I'm gone, I'm already in the reading. So here we go. Goddess and then mother. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. The shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. And then I have mother, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. The shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. So this is describing how they see you in almost all likelihood. I do not think that this is the energy of the person who, like, that's who they are contemplating you. I think that's who they see you to be. Apparently they thought you were just the full range package. You had the sex at times, but you also had like the emotional world. It may not have progressed to a real relationship of any duration, but this person just thought that you were a little bit of their dream come true. Let's find out what the energy is service and then blame. I feel good when I can help others, and then blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. That was the energy around this. Here's what I think happened. I think you had other obligations that drew you away from this particular, like you weren't able to focus on it at the time that you knew this person. Like you may have wanted children with that mother energy, and they may not have been ready. Let's get a predictive spread on who this person is. Who thinks pile number 1 is a goddess, but also has that nurturing energy of the Empress, the mother? Let's go. Who is the person that thinks pile number 1 got away? Tell me about this person, please. Who thinks pile number 1 got away? 1 and 2 and 3. I'm going on 4. Whoops, and 4. Here we go. Who flipped? Ooh, and another one came off on top. So here we go. I have the Magician in reverse. See, I think you met up with that. Lovers in reverse. I think you met up with somebody before they were ready to make the full-time commitment. They were super focused on self, and their choices were about, it looks like they were trying to, like they had their eyes on the future, but the way they were defining success in the future was monetary. 4 of Wands in the upright. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. I have the Hanged Man in reverse. That's a card of needing to make a sacrifice. 10 of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. Hermit in reverse. And then I have the Justice card in reverse, with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and then the 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this is somebody that, I can't tell the time frame on this, but you dated sort of briefly and they got scared. They got scared because like you were the full package person. This Four of Wands energy is about that home and contentment. But they were also seeking their security more than they were seeking love. I think it's been a little while, but they may have met you while you were both working together, by the way, with that service energy. Like you genuinely might have been wait staff at the same restaurant. This person had ambitions and goals though, and like they didn't invest in this relationship in the way that they needed to. Apparently you're the person who sticks out in their mind. They know they weren't fair to you with this Justice card in reverse. I don't think their life has worked out exactly as they had hoped it to either. But they released the relationship to focus on going forward in their own life. They released it because they were trying to build their stability. They didn't think they were ready to settle down yet either. I don't know that you were either, but they didn't like it. This has been a little while ago, so I'm not like getting the ghosting thing because I don't know that that was necessarily a thing when this was happening. This looks about at least 10 years ago. So this is not like a high school person's pile or anything. This is somebody who, like, you've had a couple of significant relationships, and I have a feeling that they had a marriage that failed. And it's partially because they kept trying to do things in a way that didn't emphasize the emotional world. Like they took the safe bet is what it looks like. I don't think they wanted a ton of emotional involvement, or they thought they didn't. This is a manipulator's card. This is somebody who's not like, completely above board. It's a trickster. They sacrificed the relationship, that's the Hanged Man in reverse, because they were needing to focus on self. But apparently they haven't ever forgotten about you. And I don't think they know of you any longer, but like in their quiet moments, and they have not had happy relationships first. The Five of Cups in reverse, like they've had some things that they've lost. They focus on you kind of, it's fairly frequent. It's fairly frequent. You may have had a couple of, this is one of the celebration cards, one of the, like you've been to parties and events together. But I think it was a fairly brief relationship, and this person just got scared. They got scared and released it. And here's the thing. I don't think you have had the same level of like, oh, wow, that's the person who got away. I really don't. Like this person, I think, is actually they were very charming, but they weren't very sincere at the time that you knew them. They were still young. Like this is like when you knew this person, it should have been maybe early 20s. Because it's like they went on for, they were pursuing monetary success. I can't tell if it was in like in an environment where they were pursuing an extra degree or what it is, but they know that they didn't make the right choice. They weren't fair to you. And the other thing is I think they were like they were very weird about wanting to be exclusive because they were very commitment phobic at the time. Yeah, they wanted to focus entirely on, they may have come from a background in which like things went really sideways due to some toxicity in their relationship. Because they didn't tell you the truth about why they broke up with you. I have a feeling that they just kind of like drifted away. Like they stopped answering calls. You weren't super invested yet. I would say this was likely during the summertime. You went to a lot of parties together. You knew each other through a work environment where people kind of socialized together. Because there's just a lot of getting out there energy. And it was pretty brief. This is weird because I don't think that you would ever consider, I miss being with you. I don't think you would ever consider this as the person who, oh, that's the person who thinks I got away. I saved your texts and messages. I admire you. I need security. That was very much the feeling that I got. is that it was kind of hot and heavy. Like there was good passion there, but this person told you they weren't ready for a long-term commitment. And here's the thing, I've got like no grief from you on this, like none. It's almost as if you they had been marked as a player and you knew better than to invest very much. And you had a lot of options. You had a lot of options at this time. They did as well. They did as well. It's like you were both like young and like kind of like, it seemed like finding somebody to be interested in was the easiest thing in the world to do. But it's like it was a summer job or something, because there's this energy of this gathering energy over and over again. It's like you were meeting around campfires or something, because there were other people there a lot. That service energy, the goddess energy. Here's the thing, you weren't very focused on them either. Like something about them, like you weren't, I don't have any grief or sorrow around you releasing the relationship. We have go the distance. Yeah, they were pursuing something. Treasure Island. Orphaned. Building blocks. They were trying to build a foundation in their life. They thought love was going to come easily to them. They did. They thought that, I don't think they knew how rare it was to have like such a full range feeling for somebody. That goddess energy with the mother energy. This is very much, it is kind of being picked up as you have feminine energy and they have masculine energy. Because there really was this thing where, like, they didn't tell you the truth. They never admitted to you, like, hey, I'm developing feelings for you. And so they pieced out on it. Let's go. What were they thinking of? What did they pursue instead? What was the thing that kept them apart from this person? 1 and 2. It really looks like it was just success. But this was a brief relationship. It wouldn't have been more than 3 months. They released it fairly easily. And they didn't understand what a rare find it was. Like they really did not. They have wish. Your heart's desire is ready to come true. Sun. It was a summer thing. It really was a summer fling. Coffin. Snake. And then I want one more, lion. The lion is harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. This is also a Leo card. So many things around this are saying that it just had a summer energy. Now, again, that's in this particular hemisphere, but you want to think between like June and early September, because by early September, they had released the relationship. I don't think they were headed back to school. But they appear to orphaned. Like they just, again, like now people would call it ghosting, but I swear I don't think that like that was terminology at the time. And I have absolutely no indication that it ripped your heart out or anything. I think you just kind of moved on to the next, because at that particular point, you were a little bit in the same boat. Like it felt like, there's always going to be somebody else. When everybody's single, it's really easy to think that there's always going to be like, well, I just move on to the next one. And you weren't overly invested because like there was something about them that you found just like, you knew they were a little insincere. Like I think they were, here's what I've got. I think you both worked at a restaurant in a resort area or something of that nature, because there's a lot of tourism energy around this. And that like that person might have been the bartender or something, because they were very good at, this is a charming person, but it's not a very sincere form of charm. And like they had a little bit of a reputation. And you only went out with them like I said, it was a 2 or 3 month period. I don't think it was very serious for you, and they never let you know that it was like, no, it's you. I kind of had to leave this behind because it was engaging my heart, and I thought it was going to keep me from my success. Because the wish and the treasure island and the building blocks and the go to distance, it's like they thought they had other things to accomplish. Inner strength. Inner child healing. Yeah, they were probably in the runner dynamic. Regrets. Yeah. Ego death. Listen, it's weird. I think things worked out for this person. Like, I think that in terms of the monetary success that they were kind of chasing, I very much get the feeling that, like, they did okay with that. But it's all they ended up having in their life. I think they've had at least one broken relationship that ended likely in divorce. With that lion energy and a couple of other things there, I think this person was like very, like other people noticed them. Like you made a very good looking couple together. Ego death. Like they had to, here's what I've got. With this Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is all, the need to heal a heart chakra, it's also a loss of financial security. I think they waited and they found like the right person on paper. That they ended up marrying the right person on paper. Somebody with credentials, somebody with the same type of degree, somebody with the same type of career. They tried to kind of treat their life like they were building that resume. Like they tried not to be overly emotionally involved in their life. And it was only as I think this relationship was breaking up over infidelity, is what it looks like, that they realized, like, I think they might have gone to some form of therapy. And they had to confront, you know, how many times they thought they'd ever been in love. Because this is something after a loss that they came to confront. Five of Cups in reverse is concentrating on what's left over after a loss. The Justice card in reverse and then the Hermit in reverse. Union of two souls. Oh, I think they thought you, oh God, they thought you were their soulmate. Helping others and mentor. Self-sufficient. And then soulmate again. It's funny. This person thinks that you are their twin flame. This is one of the twin flame energies. I don't think they know the term twin flame. I think they were in some form of finance. But at the time you knew them, they were working in the service industry, likely as a bartender, and I have no idea why that's coming through so strong. I don't really have I don't have the Devil card on this, which is one of the things that would tell me that. It's the Magician in reverse. That's somebody who can be very, like, they know how to be charming when they need to be charming type of thing. I'm going to keep going here. Can I get some Island Wellness cards? What happened to them? What happened to them? You have not heard from them in a long time. Like in a long time. They have searched for you. I don't think they've found you. I don't think they could. This is like funny for somebody who thinks that you were their soulmate or their twin flame. It's like they didn't know your last name any longer. Yep, soulmates. Mirror, that is a twin flame energy. Relationship reflects our wounds. Separation. Kisses, which is unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love, and then clock. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. You're the person that they think of as having got away, though. Because, like, when they think about love, and I think that's what happened. Like, I think directly prior to a divorce, I think they ended up in some form of therapy. And what the therapist was asking about things like whether or not they believe in things like soulmates. And I think you're the person who came to mind. They had a really, really good time being around you, but they were in a fearful energy around connection. And they appear to have released it to go forward into the world to continue to pursue their own goals. Like I said, I don't think they've had any success when they've looked for you. I don't think they found you. I don't know that you would necessarily want to check back in on them, but it kind of, I really have this beautiful summer fling energy around it, and you were down with that. Like, you were down with that. But they never told you that they had deeper feelings. I think they were just young and a little bit, and they weren't guided by the right stuff at that particular time. Heart, stars, Birds, they have tried to find you. Cross. Okay. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think they even have a photograph of you. I don't think it was that, like, it's the strangest thing. Even though you got the emails and text messages things, it's weird. I do not get the sense that this was in the text message time. Like, they've got emails or letters because they did save them. I don't think their person ever found them. I do not think their marriage lasted super long. And it was one of the things that started to make them question, well, what do I think love is? What do I think connection is? It was kind of a hot and heavy romance, but you didn't fall in love with them. And they did fall in love with you. And I think, again, you just had, it's almost like you had more sense. Like you could see other people flirting with this person and you knew that it's like, yeah, they've got a rep. I think they like end up going out with the entire wait staff type of thing. The World, which is a success card. Happy family. Yin Yang. Second chakra, Archangel, Ariel, and then adjacent possibilities. They have like, this is sort of sweet because there's nothing meant to come of it. Like you might even be married now. Their marriage ended, and I do not think they were ever able to find anything definitive about you. But they did look, because this is a fruitless search. You had a lack of trust in them. It was like you knew you weren't going to be able to lock them down at that time. I really like this energy. I really like this energy. I'm going to take a she who, how do they see person number one? Because I very much got like a little bit of a traditional relationship vibe around this, but it didn't work out for them. She who resists, fearless, justified, resistant. It's almost like you were able to see through their charm. And that was one of the things that they really, really liked about you. Pile number one, I really kind of dig this energy. This is somebody who it would have been like in your probably early to mid 20s, and you guys were still working jobs like in between semesters or like changing careers pretty frequently, because I really do think it's in the service industry. This is like revolves around like some kind of resort or some kind of like restaurant. It's just there's all this social activity around it, but nobody involved was ready yet. They have their regrets. When they lost everything they tried to put together, they had to examine their choices from the past. And you're the person who stood out to them because it's like you called them on their BS or something. Like you were the person who like didn't fall for it. Group number one, kind of a fun message. This is a summer fling from a long time ago, at least 10 years ago. This person has never forgotten about you. They look for you on social media or in the ways that they can. They have never found you because they don't know your last name now. They still think about it, but I don't think they've ever fully done their inner healing. They were super popular and you didn't trust that. And that's the energy around this one. Who didn't forget about you? A summer fling from kind of a long time ago. And neither of you thought that you were, or at least you knew you weren't in love. And they didn't tell you that they thought they were falling in love and they were afraid of that. So that's the energy I've got around this particular one. They released the relationship to seek security and stability. It did not work out for them. Something ended in divorce, causing them to examine what they felt they had lost and wish they had retained. And you were the person that they were thinking of, like the fork in the road where they took the wrong path. Take care, be well. That was kind of a fun one. You stay on people's minds, group number one. Welcome back. If you chose pile number two, then this is your reading. Who thinks you're the one that got away? Who never forgot about you? Crystal Tarot with 6 of Cups, which is about the past, is going to bring you a predictive spread. We have archetype cards to see how you're viewed or who this person is, and then the energies surrounding this originally. Let's go. We have, oh, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, hit the thumbs up button, please. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. Hit that post bell notification, and you'll know every time I post a video. Poet and mediator. Expresses soul insights and symbolic love. Shadow attribute turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. And that's a dreamer's card. We've got the mediator, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument, but the shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. This looks like a very, it's like you fought like cats and dogs, man. I'm not laughing about that. It's just, it really was like you couldn't come to consensus on things. I'm not sure who is really the romantic dreamer in this, that poet energy. I don't know if it was you or them. Let's keep going. We have balance. This is the energy surrounding the connection at the time. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality. And then I have denial. I acknowledge my fears, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. I think you were in a really romantic phase of your life when you knew this person. That you thought that there was a cosmic tie here. You've got these 2 doves on poet, and then this person who there's these little hearts coming out and everything. But it's like you couldn't find a way to make things work. The balance and abundance, strangest thing, it's like I'm getting almost like a family objection. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What do we have for pile number 2? Who's the one who thinks they got away? Who thinks they got away? Because that mediator thing, it's like you couldn't find a way to make things work. You may have wanted different things at that time. You were in a very, I think that you had not had a ton of experience when you knew this person. You were really romantic, and I don't know enough about them yet. Let's keep going. Tell me about this person, please. Tell me about this person. Oh, Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay. That can be a misuse of passion. And like I said, I got the energy you fought. You fought a lot. I think that let's keep going here. Yeah, Temperance in reverse. It's like this person wasn't responsible. Oh God, you fought a lot. Knight of Swords in reverse with the King of Pentacles in the upright. The Chariot in the upright. It's being pulled in 2 different directions. 7 of Swords in the upright. A little bit I got that. Because what I was going to say is this is a misuse of passion. There were a lot of arguments. The Temperance thing and the 6 of Wands. 6 of Cups in reverse. Okay. With the 5 of Wands, there was so much conflict. The 5 of Swords in reverse. And then the World in reverse. This is an interesting one. You probably knew this person initially through school. The King of Pentacles can be a teacher, but it's also this, they were full grown at the time, but it was through some sort of training. The 6 of Wands is also an energy that is about progress. I think you knew them, but you fought all the time, and it's because you were in a really romantic space. But I think they weren't ready to be with one person, and so they weren't. Because this is a 7 of Swords energy. They've gotten older and more mature. This is them now, and it could be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. and they have their regrets. They think about the past a lot. They can be a little bit confused around it because, of course, the way they remember things is a little bit different than the way you remember things. Like they thought maybe you weren't exclusive. Is that what that is? You thought they were being pretty unfair to you. They would, like, they didn't tell you where they were going a lot. Like you had trouble figuring out where they were and what they were doing and who they were with. And it just kept making you feel like this is a rage card. It really is like it's like they were rootless at the time that you knew them. And in terms of like what that weird mediator thing, like there was some kind of pushback on you being together, I think it was your family. I think it was your family. And it's the strangest thing, but it's like people were telling you you could do better. That you had everything ahead of you. And this person, like they I don't want to say they played the field because like they didn't keep it at home, you know? They were always trying to find somebody else because they had their own issues. Balance and abundance, like an abundance of choice, denial. Like there's this argument, like there's this weird energy how like you thought when they drank, I think, that they were really flirty with other people. And they always denied it, but they were being. And that person, like they didn't value what they had. They didn't value what they had. I think they're actually married right now is the thing. World be open to new possibility, luck, unity, and then I want one more star. All right, so hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. These are not likely to apply. It's the general energy of it's like they thought they had so many possibilities. And you were, like I said, you're in this very romantic stage of your life where you were very, like, I think you were young. Like maybe as young as like 18, 19 years old. And you just could never figure out where the heck they were going. I don't think you liked their friends either. Because there's this very rough language around this. And they were always getting together with people that you thought they were kind of out scamming for people. Like they were out looking for other people too. Like they would go out and I think party with their friends. And these 2 nights in reverse, it's like they didn't have a supportive structure around it. Honest to goodness, I think they were just too young to understand that like it's a bit rare to really have somebody who wants to focus on you as much as you wanted to focus on them. There very much is this weird energy where they understand that they didn't value what they had with that balance and that mediator energy, abundance and denial. It's like they wouldn't see what was right in front of their face. The thing I've kind of got here is that they like, you thought they were hooking up with other people and they kept telling you that they were only flirting, and they were only flirting, but like when you couldn't figure out how to make the argument stop, and this lasted for a little while. This was like an 18-month to 2-year relationship because there's a little bit of an enduring quality where you had time enough for like the relationship to devolve. And now that this person is older and more settled down, and they've had a few things not break in their favor, they wonder why they did that. Flexible. See, I think they didn't want a commitment, but they didn't tell you that. And when they're thinking things over, because you were really sweet to them, like you used to bring them little gifts, and like you really, like you leaned in on the romance aspect, and they were just kind of in that stage of life where that felt like pressure, because this is a little bit of competition and pressure. They just feel They wish they could meet you now instead. Because you all are still not, like, this is, I do not get the sense that, like, you're anywhere, like, you're under 35. And they wish they could meet you now, because it's like they burned through that stage where they were mistreating people, where they thought that, like, there would always be somebody there to love them. Yin. It's just, you're so loving. No place like home. Okay. And then blessed. Listen, I do not think this person is married. I don't think they've ever gotten married. I can't tell if you're married or not, but the regrets they have around this is like they thought you were the spouse person, you were the Ten of Cups person. And it went on for a little while. But like with all of this arguing energy, because this is a bitter argument, this is like a misuse of passion card. Again, being pulled in multiple directions. And then it was like they loved the validation of people flirting with them. And so I don't think they were necessarily cheating, but wow, they loved to flirt with other people. And it just drove you nuts. The breakup, I do not have, like, I think by the time you broke up, you were so over this. You were tired of, like, trying to guess where they were and who they were with. They just did not treat this as the valuable thing that it was. And you were both, like, kind of, like, you were young and beautiful type of thing, you know? But you were sweet to them. I've got this thing where, like, you just tried to do and do for them. Even after, like, you'd argue and then you'd make up. And then it really is, I think you just wanted to get this kind of, you wanted the movie relationship. You wanted all that romance. And it was there in that there was a lot of fire and passion, because all that arguing led to some fun times afterwards. But they just weren't, like, they were too immature at the time that you knew them. I wish we could go back. Do I still have a chance? See, this is the weird thing. It's like, if this is making any sense to you, I would say probably go ahead and try and figure out where this person is, because I swear that's the weird energy here. I don't think they're married. I don't think they're actually with anyone. I see life differently now. That makes so much sense with everything now. It's been a while. Like, this is at least 5 years in the past. But it's like they're ready to plant roots now with that King of Pentacles energy. But like you were so sweet to them. Like if they had the flu or something, you were the person going to the 24-hour pharmacy to pick them up cold medicine, and they remember that. But you were very, like, you had that romantic dreamer thing. You had a very romantic idea around what being in love was. And they just weren't, it's like they couldn't meet you there, because this is the card of having the Star card and the Tarot card is something being just beyond reach. But you're the person that if they could go back in time, and that, do I still have a chance and I see life differently now? They're not the same person, and they're not the same hothead either. Because they were a hothead. Like they just, if like, particularly if they were getting called on something they didn't want to talk about, like they would, it was almost like a defensive move. They'd get angry around things rather than, life-changing decision. Chaser, I think that was you. At the time, you were ready to like find your human. You were a very romantic person when you were young. I think you still are. I cannot tell if you're married. But I don't think they are. The world in reverse, they'd like a new cycle to start. They really have solved their kind of argumentative ways. Divine Feminine. Runner. Okay. The next card would have been Stuck, but I don't think it has anything to do with this. At the time you knew them, they had no idea like how to do a committed relationship. you were both super young. You were both super young. And they just, it's like they kick themselves over that. Because they've never had anybody who, like, you made them feel valued. That denial thing, it's like they just didn't know what they had. Unity, this is what you were hoping for, as far as I can tell. You were like, oh, you're like, this is my soulmate. This is my person. And they were like a karmic lesson. Can you ever go back and like reclaim something and have it be better the second time? 100%. But I wish we could go back to, I still have a chance and I see life differently now. They see life differently now. And I'm going to tell you, like, completely honestly, even though it's kind of not on the table, what I'm getting is they've had somebody die. And it really changed their perspective on something. And it wasn't a partner, but I think it might have been their mom. The no place like home, the yin, the flexible, like they did not, I think they used to say that to you, like, you're not my mom, because you like to know where they were. You've got to, at the time you had a lot of insecurity around, like you felt threatened by other people, particularly because this person was like an unapologized flirt, I think. Unapologetic flirt. Balance, abundance, and denial. They just didn't know what they had at the time. The mediator, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy. Y'all did not have that. Negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda. I would say that that is very accurately the energy. Like they were kind of typical for a young person. And I do get the feeling that this is someone who identifies as male, because they just kind of like, they didn't understand that this was very valuable to them. And they kept going for a while and just had like this revolving door. And I think they kept losing people because of their temper. And I think they might have had some type of anger management or something, because they did resolve it. This is conflict resolution and beginning again on that. And then the mediator, it's like they learned how to do this. They learned how to do this. But when you knew that person, like they were a hothead. Like if you said something to them they didn't like, it just devolved into an argument. And what they didn't like to be was ever questioned on where they were going and what they were doing. Soulmate energy. Here's the thing. This is a little bit weird, but like they were a type of soulmate. Now we have multiples. We do. There are divine partners. There are life partners. There are healing soulmates. There are karmic lessons. We have more people in our lives than just one. We normally have to meet several people to heal things. The thing I've got around this is like they still want something. They have not found their person. New inspiration. I think they want new level of growth. Cool, calm, and collected. I'm telling you, moderation and self-control. Like I said, I think you worried that they used to go out partying with their friends and they would flirt, and they would. And they feel like a jerk, by the way. Because they did grow up. They lost things. I don't think they ever lost a relationship outside of you that meant a lot to them. Like, I don't think this person falls in love easily. And that's the thing that they didn't really, like, they didn't give a lot of weight to. Because they have a lot of regrets around this. Pile number 2. This is going to be your person, like I said, when you're about 18, 19 years old. I have a feeling it's been at least 5 years. I do not think this person is married. I don't think that they had to like have, they're not comparing you to other relationships that they've had. They just have regrets around what they did. Like they knew, when they think back, because they're mature now. When they think back, they think of themselves as having been like, their choices, they question them a lot. They learned how to communicate much better. By the way, I think they seem to have a successful energy around them, but I have absolutely no idea what they're up to in terms of profession. But this was about 1.5 to a 2-year relationship. And you just couldn't take it anymore. Because they lied to you. Like to solve, they were at that stage. They didn't know how to have a conversation in an emotionally mature manner. And so they would lie and say they were going to go do something that wouldn't upset you. And then you'd find out that they'd done something that they weren't supposed to. Because this is like, they went out a lot. They went out a lot. And you just didn't like it. The runner, yeah, well, we got that again. Self-indulgent, paradise, the phoenix, they do want another chance. They do want another chance. I don't know if there might have been a bitter enough ending on this that they have never reached out to you. But they do, like there's enough water under this bridge. They've changed enough. Like they know what they did. They understand that it's like, oh no, I threw away the thing that everybody is looking for. And I really kind of get that vibe. Like they kick themselves over like how little value they put into that. Denial of the abundance that they had. Because you were like, what I've got is you were just so sweet. Like you really, if you like went away for a weekend with your family or something, you got them a little gift. Like you really they always knew you were thinking about them. And they treated that like it was a freaking burden at the time. And now, here's the thing. I think they've gotten a little bit older and like they look similar, but like they've settled into an energy where it's just like the type of people that they would flirt with now, they can't do that kind of getting a ton of validation any longer. Like they have a job and they have responsibilities and they seem to be pretty successful, but they haven't found their person. Here's that hilariously hostilities. Why is it hilarious? Oh my God, you fought. Like the sun, broken heart, the thinking woman. I think you were attachment. Here's the thing. I think you were the person who was like, I've had enough. And you turned around, you walked away from this. But you were so, like, it's almost like there's a devoted energy around that with that poet energy and the sun card and the angel of love. And they did kind of break your heart. I think you're doing okay. Like there's nothing around here that says that you carried forward scars. But this person still thinks about you and they think you were the person who got away. And if this resonates with you, like it might be worthwhile looking them up on social media or something because everything else said they would like another chance. Take care and be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 3, then this is your reading. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That also helps my channel. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. The Golden Wheel Tarot, this is 6 of Cups, which is a relationship from the past, is the one that's going to be bringing you some predictive cards. We've got some oracle cards. We'll take other oracle cards as the reading reveals the need for it. Who is the person that thinks you're the one that got away? Rescuer. This is light attributes, is provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. The shadow attributes is assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. This might have been at a time in your life where you were looking for a protector. I have slave, yep. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, but the shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. You were looking for a rescuer at this particular point in your life. We have death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings with gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Now remember, that does not mean death. It can mean closure, but it can also mean new beginnings. And I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. This has been a super fun reading because in at least one instance, it's like, oh, you should probably try and find that person because they would like to find you. Let's see. What about pile number 3? Who thinks they're the one that got away? Who thinks pile number 3 is the one that got away? There we go. Who thinks pile number 3 is the one that got away? 2 more times, 1 and 2. All right, let's get going. Page of Cups in the upright. The Magician in reverse. I keep getting this card in this particular reading, and it's because half the time when we have like the one who got away, it's somebody who did something super foolish by like playing games in relationships. 7 of Cups in reverse. 6 of Swords in the upright. I think this is 10 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Cups in the upright. Oh, somebody was a doofus. 2 of Pentacles in the upright, meaning like they didn't know how to deal with something, so they ran away. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. This is sweet though. I have the 4 of Swords in reverse, and I have the 7 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, this is somebody that you had. Was it a relationship or was it flirt? It was a relationship. It was a fairly well balanced one. I'm not sure what happened here, but somebody left this like they dropped it. They dropped it like it was a hot potato. And the whole rescuer, it's like there was a codependent thing on this. I think you were looking... Here's what I think. I think you were like in a very traditional energy at the time you knew this person. And like you thought that it was a matter of course that you find a person and you face the world together and you are half of a whole and you live in this kind of like, you know, you're the yin to my yang type of thing. And this person did not know how to deal with it at that particular time. Like they didn't know, they wanted somebody who, they wanted more power in the relationship than you were willing to give. I think they had that traditional thing too as well, where they saw themselves as a rescuer, and that meant that they had more authority. Because it started out well. Loyal heart, they do still think about you. This is how they view you. Queen of Pentacles is the wifey card. It is the person who can do it all, has the emotional wherewithal to handle a 3D world with the nurturing vibe of essentially the goddess type of thing. And they really, like, they didn't, I don't think they knew how to do what was, like, coming into the reality here with that 7 of Cups in reverse. They didn't know how to have an intimate relationship. They had come from a background, I think, where they didn't think about the give and take, the equal footing. They thought, and it's very, I don't want to say gendered, but it's a little gendered. Like they thought one person was the caretaker in a relationship and the other person was the one who made the decisions. Like they didn't think that, they didn't see a partner as an equal at that particular time. Between worlds, here and now, I want one more card. New life. Loyal heart, new. This is a little bit sad because I think they went ahead and got married. I think they are married to somebody else now. But they did it out of, like, I don't think they ever really outgrew the whole, like, one person has authority and the other person has the emotional responsibilities energy here. They wanted a really devoted partner, but they wanted more power in the relationship than they were willing, like they didn't, I'm almost positive they're the person who left is the thing. And I think it's because more and more, like they couldn't get you to, I almost want to say bend to their will. Because the Magician's card in reverse with the 8 of Cups, it's like you left seeking your own power. As like it became kind of obvious. Page of Cups, 10 of Wands in reverse. At first it was effortless. Like the first 3 or 4 months of this relationship, you really, I think you probably like told everybody I've met my soulmate. But as things went on, like they were They just wanted too much control of you. Gratitude and death. They do think you're the one that got away. Here's the thing. I don't think this person's changed all that much. I think they liked where you were, because at the time that you met them, you might have been overcoming some trauma, and like you were just relieved to have somebody else take the reins on things. But I think as you got, like, as time went on, like they wanted to know how you're spending your money and all kinds of stuff. Like they have this weird, like, at first they came in and like they were the person who like, oh, your car's broken down on the side of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm there. Don't call AAA. That's not safe. I'll be there as soon as I can. Lock the doors. Hide in the trunk. Like they really were. They were your protector, the rescuer energy. But they expected you to relinquish all your personal power. And at first you were fine with that. Because like I think you'd been like kind of soldiering, and I have trouble with intimacy. I think you had been soldiering through the world, like trying to figure out how to make your own path. This is not one that it looks like like this person does not forget about you, but they still don't have the most emotionally healthy energy. They don't. That here and now, new life, I think they're married to somebody, but they don't bond well with them. I think they'll have a lot of respect for their partner because they did find somebody who is like, this is the king of your you're the king of your castle. I don't want to know. And then I've got I need security, which comes out from this deck so frequently. It was like the only way they could feel like a powerful person in this world. It's that slave energy that just telling me that they really didn't think you should have a voice in your own life. I feel they don't have emotionally healthy dynamics. Like they got overwhelmed if you shared any of your emotions. Like they would tell you that's what your friends are for. But they still do see you as this person. Here's the thing. It's the weirdest thing. I honest to goodness think that they are married and they treat their person, I think it's their wife. I think they treat their wife quite poorly. Because this person like has a dictator's energy around them. I don't have creepy cards, but the Magician in reverse and this 8 of Cups, it's like you had to leave something behind to seek your own power. And what I've got is that like they released the relationship and it was like a ploy. Like it was like they were trying to control you or something. Because it almost looks like this is a rescuer as well. It's almost like they tried to come back to you like 6 to 8 months later, and I think you had moved on. The 4 of Swords with the 7 of Pentacles, like they've got this weird brooding energy around this. Here's the thing. Like, this is going to be an easy person to recognize because like I think they tried to, at first it was just wonderful. It was like, yeah, as long as you're with me, you're protected. Like you never need to worry about anybody bothering you. But the reality was that like you were a little bit, it's like they tried to have you on a leash because I've got this weird energy where it's like they tried to make your decisions for you. Like right down to like, you know, kind of, I want to say what you were allowed to wear. Like the way they dealt with their frustration was like to pick at you. The 4 of Swords, like they'd have an affair, I think. I really do. I kind of don't like this person very much, and I don't think you do either. Unfounded fear, take a stand, special knowledge and skills, and then dreams come true. That unfounded fear with take a stand. Here's the thing. I have this very weird thing where they were trying to dictate how you can dress. And it's because they were a little gross, honestly. Because I have this feeling that they This manipulator's energy, they questioned your choices a lot. They tried to deprive you of your power. 10 of Wands, I don't think they liked you seeing your friends. They have a controlling vibe, but they don't have an abuser's vibe. This is a slightly difficult one. But when they think you're the one that got away, boy, is that ever a little bit literal. Like they had you underneath their control. And then as you felt safe, as you finally felt a little bit protected, it's like you got in touch with your own power. You did leave them behind, but like they were doing stuff like trying to dictate your choices around your appearance. It's very strange stuff. You would not go back to them even if they showed up on your front door. Because like you've come into this secure and confident energy. Gratitude. At first you really were grateful. Special knowledge and skills, it's like you felt like they were running interference for you, but then they just started to interfere in everything. Energy cleanse, yeah, I would not go back to this person. Separation, yep. They're married is the thing. Big success. Divine masculine. Ooh, yikes. I don't like this. Signs from nature, and I want one more on this. This is vivid dreams. The signs from nature thing is basically that synchronicities, and the big success in the divine masculine, it's like they thought that like only their voice should have authority. It's like they took the sweet elements of the idea of a traditional relationship where like somebody provides for the hearth and home and somebody makes sure that hearth and home is safe. And like, I'm not being dismissive, even though I'm saying that in kind of a sing-song way. It can be very sweet, but it does usually you have to like really have very good power dynamics around that for that to work. It really does. And they didn't have good power dynamics. They just liked having power, which is not the same thing. And the way that they like soothed their own insecurities was to try and control you. But there's something about you where as soon as they were like trying to dictate your choices, it's like this is often earth sign energy. It's like, no, you could dig in and be like, yeah, no, you're not the boss of me. I think they left you as a way to try and control you. And when they tried to come back, you're like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I've moved on. But this person, I believe, is married. And like, it's weird because I don't have the card on that. I just have this really deep sense that they're like, they almost acquired people like pets. And they tried to, there's no physical altercations around this or anything. And there's not bitter arguments. But like they tried to dictate your choices. Yin yang. Anxiety. Like you knew it was not a balanced relationship. I can't tell how appreciation, which goes with gratitude, and then a woman holding a coin, which is the exact same energy as it's like they didn't see you as a person, they saw you as somebody fulfilling a role. And why do they think you're the one that got away? Honest to goodness, I think you're more attractive than the person that they ended up with. This person has weird energy around how they view love. Like it's not the super healthy energy. Like there's no emotional accessibility off of these cards. Let's try the wellness cards. Do they still think about you? Yes. And like, here's the thing, that dreams come true thing. The thing is, this is a card for dreams, this is a card for dreams. I don't like this combination because like they did, I think, try to come back to you and you just would not have it. I think you had moved on and they didn't get their second chance. But it was always a ploy to try and to try and control you more. And like they think that you have regrets. This person's I'm going to say an itty bit delusional, like just a tiny bit, because they're very puffed up. They're very puffed up. They're not a terrible human. The Sword and the Rose, Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. Soulmates, no, it's not a soulmate. Keys on a ring. String along, unconventional one night stand, and then the chaser with coffin. We've got multiple death energies with the coffin. Like this thing needs to you're not even sad to hear it. You're like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Like they like did stuff like checked my credit card thing to see if they approved of my spending. Like it's that kind of like there's no abuser thing around this. But I think it would have turned into that, and there's no emotional accessibility from this person. This is an interesting and a slightly strange one, so I'm going to take the step of taking some fortune cookie cards on this. Is there anything else I need to know about this one? They think you're the one that got away, and kind of like literally. Like when you're watching this, you're like, yeah, no, they were gone they broke my heart, or they really upset me and told me I was lucky to have them and blah, 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 and then they disappeared. And they tried to come back months later. And by then you had moved on. And they just kind of couldn't believe that their ploy, because this is a manipulative energy, did not work. And they wish now with that dreams come true. It's like they wish they'd never pushed you away, because they see you now somehow. Like you might still be in the same community. Change, wisdom, opportunities, jealousy, achievement. Assert yourself. Boy, does that ever fit with what we were talking about. As you gained more confidence in who you were, like you didn't like how controlling they were. They see you now somehow, because like they still have like this person's not across the country or across the world or like even across the state. Like they're still proximate enough that I think you kind of know who I'm talking about, because you hear stuff about them still. It was not a super long relationship, but when they met you, like I think you really were looking for somebody to try and like carry half the load. But then you discovered that somebody carrying half the load meant that they thought that they should have all of your power. And they did. The thing I don't like is that jealousy energy. Like I said, it's like they tried to dictate what you wore. Like if you were wearing like a lower cut blouse or something, there were accusations around that. And it's not an abusive energy, but it's a weird controlling one. And like, why isn't that abusive? Because it didn't tip over into demanding it. It's like they put pressure on it over and over again. Here and now and new life. See, I think they're married. I think you might be as well. And they know there's no path forward, but it's like they can still see you. And you, I think, really are more attractive than the person that they ended up with by their estimation. You know, beauty, of course, being in the eye of the beholder. And they wish that they had done things differently. Because there's that gamesmanship energy with the magician in reverse. And it's like they played a game trying to control you. The rescuer slave thing. That white knight energy can turn into somebody who thinks that the rescued have no power. And at first they were your problem solver, and then they were your problem creator. And they're still there in the background, and I kind of don't dig them as a human being. But it's almost like an ego stroke that they wish that they had another chance with you. But that whole I have trouble with intimacy thing, it's like they never fall fully in love. It's very interesting. They're not the worst human being by a lot, but they're weirdly like controlling is just what keeps coming through. You had to, like, you were, in hindsight, you were so relieved that person broke it off, because I don't think you were going to. And when they were gone, like almost immediately, like all of your friends were like, I never liked them. Oh, thank God that person's gone. And it made you start looking at them in a different light. So anyway, that was what I had, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Take care and be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 4, then this is your reading. We have the Night Sun Tarot with the Six of Cups, which is about past relationships. Who thinks you're the one that got away? Okay, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. And if you hit the post bell notification, you will be informed every time I post a video. Empathy. Oh, I wonder if this is going to be an empath narcissist thing. We'll find out. Empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. This is the energy surrounding it. And then grief. Yikes. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. These are the archetype cards telling us who they are or how they see you. We'll find out. We have Messiah and then Hermit. Messiah, serving humanity with humility, but the shadow attribute is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And then Hermit is seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. The shadow attribute is withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. I wonder what happened here. Why do they think you're the one that got away? This does not have a clear, like, oh, it was this, it was that. It's almost like they sacrificed something. Like they had a chance and they didn't take it. Here we go. Let's go. What do I have for group number 4? Well, who thinks they're the one that got away? Who thinks pile 4 is the one that got away? All right. We have the Emperor. The Empress in reverse, okay. I have the, 9 of Swords in the upright. Yikes. They were afraid of something. It's like you offered them everything and they couldn't take it because they got locked into a place of fear. Here, let's go. 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, 2 of Wands, choices, making plans, having like an offer available to you because it's the world is your oyster card. They were too afraid to take this chance. I don't think this launched into a relationship, but it's like they're kicking themselves. Because that 9 of Swords, here we go. I have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. They didn't take it. Like this is a missing piece. This is the 2 of Pentacles in reverse is like not knowing how to juggle everything, not knowing how to do something, setting something down. It comes out with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. This person got paralyzed by fear or something. Put this down. This did not launch into a relationship. This is the 9 of Wands in reverse. 9. We've got the 9 of Cups in reverse. Whoa. All of the... Okay. I have the Page of Swords in the upright. 2 of Cups in the upright. And then I've got the 6 of Swords in reverse. I don't know that you're done here. This never, ever became a relationship. Like, this person was too fear-ruled. The Hermit, I think that, like, they may be trying to heal, but they're an empath. And the grief energy is, like, they have deep regret over this, but it's like you offered them something and I want to say chickened out. They chickened out. Like, they knew you liked them or cared for them, but they got locked in their head and they made the wrong choice and they kind of know it. 2 in the upright, 2 in reverse. It's like they just didn't know how to have a relationship. 9 of Cups in reverse is a disappointment. Page of Swords in the upright, though, is a communication. Like, it's the energy of air. Like, they got locked in their head about something. Like, I think they might have thought that it was not the time for them. I want you back. I think they want another opportunity. Who is this person? Like, I don't have any information on that at all. Here we go. But I miss seeing you. I compare others to you. I hide my feelings. I think that that's what was wrong with this person. Is they, in the head and the heart battle, they try to do everything with their head. But now, like, they kick themselves because they think they made the right choice. Because I think you made them an offer and they were like, no, I can't. This is like no action being taken, being ruled by fear. They knew that you were offering them something and they didn't. It's like they retreated. They're disappointed in themselves. Is there, like, the Six of Swords and the Two of Cups, like they would like to return to your life. Don't think they're in your life right now. I don't think that this was like a hideous experiment. There was no relationship here. They didn't take the chance of a relationship. They just didn't take the chance. They did not seem to know how to do something, and so they just didn't do anything. I want you back. I miss seeing you. I compare others to you. I hide my feelings. I think they hide their feelings from themselves too. This was like, I think you were encouraged or something as well. Quite simply because, like, this is a dropped ball energy. Like, they think they missed that opportunity. Calm, cool, and collected. Union of two souls. Soulmate energy as well. Sudden progress and change. This is a traditional relationship as the next card. Here's the thing. I think that they like turned kicking themselves into a hobby afterwards. Because at first like I said, they grew feathers and clucked and ran away. They were chicken. And I'm not like trying to be mean to them. It's just that they acted from a place of fear and they know it. They didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything. And you were disappointed. I don't know that they have another chance here. Like, I think it was a stinging enough rejection that you're like, I don't know. And you should know exactly what I'm talking about, because I don't think that happens to you very frequently. Like, I really don't. Like, the Empress, like, in reverse like that lady can get down. Like, she's this very kind of, like, grounded, earthy, like, love sensual pleasure type of thing. Like, she enjoys life. She has a lot of lust for life. She's, like, in reverse like that, she's a really inventive lover, too. Like, you kind of had the confidence of somebody who knows that, and, like, they really chase her. Oh, no. All right, what else we got here? Divine Feminine. It's the Divine Feminine as well. Karmic partner. Take a risk. I don't think they could. I think they were runner. And then what do we got for the last one? Stuck. An apology. We're going to take all of that because the reason being is we've got the Page of Cups and then we've got the Page of Swords as well. And here's the thing. Page of Swords. I'm sorry, we don't have the Page of Cups. That they want to contact you. They would like a return to, you might have been friends, because this did not get to a relationship. They were just too, I just keep wanting to use the fairly like unkind description of they were just too chicken. They just got scared. They allowed themselves to be ruled by fear, and they're aware of that. Because they're disappointed in themselves with their own choices. They know they dropped the ball. And I think that they did it for, like, I kind of want to say very, like, almost ridiculous reasons. Like sincerely. And what do I mean by ridiculous? I mean, like, caring what other people would think type of thing. Like, if nobody else is living your life, don't care what they think about your life. That's the only path to true happiness, is knowing what you think about you and not allowing your opinion of self to be dictated to you. And they just, it's like they thought you were more than they could handle. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction, separation, girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm. Being charmed or used, enable boundaries. This person does not have a narcissist energy, and neither do you. Sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Like they're somewhere working on their issues. Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming. Surprise invitation or meeting, hesitation. Here's the thing. This did not, and this is fairly recent. This is not like a couple of them have been like, wow, this is at least a decade ago. This is fairly recent. This person did not take an opportunity to have a relationship with you. They are trying to do that hermit energy. They're trying to heal. They're trying to understand their own feelings, which they kind of didn't. They tried to analyze the crap out of something, and like they tried to, and only in the aftermath did they realize, I have just talked to myself out of potential love and happiness, companionship, like a true partner. And the Messiah thing, serving humanity with humility, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And the Messiah thing is kind of, that's the thing that's throwing me a little bit. It's like they felt they needed to sacrifice this somehow to keep peace within their life. Let's get some, what is going on here? What is this energy? Okay. Oh, all that glitters. Like they thought it was not real. They thought, oh wow. Message in a bottle, I think you're going to hear from them. I really do. Regeneration, which is a new beginning. Truth be told. Listen, I have a feeling this person's coming back to you. I don't know if it's going to be in time. I really don't. That's, it's a general reading, so of course it can't hold true for everybody. I can't tell if this is a twin flame situation or not. I really can't. But this person did not accept an offer from a fear-based place. And ever since, like, it's been, I think, kind of getting to them. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. The Hermit is trying to heal. I think there has been no contact in this situation, but the person who thinks you got away is the person who didn't take the opportunity to be with you in the first place. They dropped the ball. They let it go. Do they feel that way about it? Apparently, yes. Apparently, one of the things that kind of, I want to say keeps them up at night, because this is an energy of like not sleeping. One of the things that keeps them up at night is like the what ifs. What if I'd taken a different path? The grief, they mourn the opportunity. And then the empath thing, the empathy thing, you might both be empaths, and you might have had a bad relationship history. But this is coming back to you is what it looks like. This person wants to talk to you about either a renewed friendship or renewed connection, because this is communication. Cornucopia is wish fulfillment, but this can also be a fantasy type of thing. Door to personal healing and happiness. I have second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and then I have Yin Yang. This person is trying to heal. When they are healed, you will hear from them again. Will it be in time for them to reclaim that mistake? I don't know. I really don't know. It looks to me, with that Empress energy and a couple of other things here, I cannot tell if the Two of Cups is you're already with somebody else, or if, like, it's going to be very individual. But as they've been healing, like, they've had to confront, I did something based solely in fear. Somebody offered me the Two of Cups. Somebody offered me a real connection, real love, and I rejected it because I was too frightened. And they want a second chance, I really think they want a second chance, but I'm just not sure that you're there for it. Like, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring a new and positive future. Fool. Have the courage to take risks and be adventurous. Lovers. There are 2 paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Okay. I think you're going to have an opportunity to decide when the ball is in your court. That's a ball in your court energy. When the ball is in your court, you're going to see if you're going to act any differently. Because this person, this is recent enough that they still like debate it in their own head. Did they do the right thing? Did they do the wrong thing? They very much believe they did the wrong thing. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some fortune cookie cards on this as well. But you made them an offer and they turned it down from a place of fear. They really feel like it was a missed opportunity and they do kick themselves and they do want to come back. It is going to be a very, luck. I never find these paragraphs to have any validity, so I've just stopped reading them altogether. But these cards are great. They really identify the energy. It's just you have to expand on the keyword yourself. They want to see health, signs, tough and trying times, declutter. Their health might not be in great, because this is a burnout, your health is suffering thing. Like they're trying to heal, they're trying to heal. And I don't have the time frame on when they're coming back. But they have that's what they plan on. It's like they chase themselves around inside their own mind. That's who thinks you're the one that got away. It's the person who I believe you offered them love, you offered them a relationship, you offered them you, and they were scared. And I think they put it down to a bunch of rationalizations of you weren't ready, or you're this, or you're that. And instead it was really about who they were and that they weren't able to kind of live in a balance between their head and their heart. Instead, they tried to analyze the situation to death and they missed their opportunity. And are they going to get a second chance? Well, that's going to be entirely up to you. Pile number 4. Take care. Be well.